when you need expert advice, you go straight to the top. So that's where we went. We reached out to some of the most creative minds we know and asked this question: how do you encourage creativity in your children? Well, Becky Higgins, the creator of the popular Project Life memory keeping system, shared this secret. Becky says, I encourage creativity in my children by supporting their constantly changing interests, being in touch with nature, and making sure they always have creative supplies accessible. Marilee Lydiard, author, creator of Mag blog, and all-around queen of imaginative fun for kids, says this: don't be afraid to let your kids get bored. I like that. She said they will start to find creative solutions to play on their own. You can also set up invitations to create where you put out paper, craft, and art supplies. You'll be surprised, she wrote, and delighted about what they come up with. Thanks to Marilee for that thought. And this insight from Shari Pack of Persnickety Prints Photography Shop. Shari wrote this: I have 3 boys, 15, 14, 10, and my boys never enjoyed coloring, cooking, painting, or anything streamlined artistic. The one thing I can get them to do is dance. We have dance parties, she said, where we crank up the tunes and just let it all out. How fun is that? That's just some inspiration from one mom to another to help you grow little imaginations and encourage the creative minds at your house. But we're not stopping there. When we come back, the science behind what a lot of moms already know, that artistic hobbies and creative thinking can give kids an advantage. Before the break, we shared secrets from super creative moms we know and love to get you thinking about your own child's creative development. Considered inspiration for maybe moms who don't know how or where to start fueling and promoting that creativity. Luckily, my next guest believes all of us can raise creative kids, and she has the research and strategies to prove it. Family researcher Heather Johnson is joining me. I found this to be an intriguing topic because aren't kids innately creative? Do we need to draw that out?
We just need to not squash it is what we need to do. So we come that way, right? We come with creativity. So we need to make sure that we don't squish it. And the creativity is very much like a muscle. If we use it, it grows and develops. If we don't, it withers and dies.
So the number one question we're going to get with this topic is from moms who say, I am not creative. I don't have a creative bone in my body. You say that person can still promote the creativity.
Absolutely.
In their kids.
And this is what's so beautiful about talking about this today. We've got to change the way we think about creativity. We hear the word creativity and we think it means we have to be master crafters in our home, right? Amazing with crafts. We have to paint, we have to draw, maybe some singing and dancing, that is what creativity is. That isn't. Creativity at its root is growth, development, and expansion. It's exploring. That's what it is. It's growing. And so anything we can do for our children that allow them to grow and develop, that's developing creativity, which is a huge relief for me because I cannot draw. So if I have to know how to draw to have creative kids, I'm sunk, right? And so we get to let that go. Let it go. Growth, development, and that expansion. That's what we're focused on.
I love that. Well, your first tip taps into that whole new definition. You say just allowing space for play. That brings out creativity.
It brings out creativity. So here's the thing: we are now in an environment, and we saw it with the tech segment. We are in this environment where our children have 0 time to just play. It is their job, and so we need to do a couple things. We need to tame our technology. We've got to bring it back in, eliminate a lot of it each day so that they can just play. The other thing we need to do is we need to stop overscheduling them, because we have them in so many things they never have a chance to just be bored and figure out how to solve that problem. Or look at something and say, I want a fort, but how am I going to make these pillows into it? Or, you know, right now I want to solve this problem. How am I going to do it?
They need the time.
They need the time.
We think of creativity, and this might go to your new definition, but we think of creativity as kind of a la-di-da, right side of the brain, skip through the field with flowers. But you say actually if we can counsel our kids to beat procrastination, that will allow for more creativity in the long term. How so?
Absolutely. Well, remember, growth, development, expansion. We need this not just at home with art. We need this in everything we do. Workplaces thrive when creative people work there. Procrastination is a #1 enemy to anything we try to do that's important. Whether we're 2, 5, 50, it doesn't matter your age. Procrastination kills our ability to move forward with important things. And so if we can help our children not procrastinate and learn that skill, it allows their minds to work with their bodies to solve problems and be more creative. Now, a lot of research in the past, we've hypothesized that kids procrastinate because they're either lazy or unwilling. We're finding that's not the case. Procrastination in children usually happens because they just don't know how to get started. That's it. They just don't know how to begin.
That's interesting.
And so when we look at our children and we're trying to help them with this procrastination, help them know how to start. You know, a giant room that's a mess, it's like, this, I don't even know where to begin.
I shut down.
And I don't know where to begin.
Yeah.
Or, you know, a 5-page research paper, it's like, I help them. It's one word. It's your name on the title page. It's one single shoe and then find its match. teach them to take that first step and help overcome that procrastination.
We know as parents we're supposed to be avoiding the empty praise or the over praise. How does that affect this path of creativity?
Well, we have this path we always take as parents where we're constantly praising the outcome, which means we only offer praise when they succeed. If we want our children to live creative lives, and remember, creative people live longer. They're less likely to, fall into depression, anxiety. The benefits are far-reaching. So instead of just praising the outcome, we need to praise the effort so that they're always willing, fail or success, to go back and try again. That's what creative people do. They're willing to look for lots of solutions and give it a shot, whether they fail or not.
You have some advice for those moments when mom is jumping in and she's playing along and she's taking part in that creative space.
Absolutely. Let your kids take the lead. So instead of us trying to kind of take control, oftentimes we do it because it's a time issue. It's things we're uncomfortable with, right? When our son was very young, he wanted me to always act like an animal all the time. So public or not, his ability to be creative in learning was bark like a dog today, meow like a cat, be an ostrich,
And you loved it, right, Heather?
I was so uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable to me. And so I had to take a step back and decide, you know what? I'm not in charge here. You take the lead and just follow along. Let them create the play kitchen or the fire station and just be bossed around a little bit and let them create what it looks like to them and see how that goes and find success in leading.
My 4-year-old niece, it takes patience to play Barbies with her because she's saying, now you say this.
It's exactly right.
And I say this, now you say that. And I'm like, where's my creativity?
Where do I
get
get to speak up?
Anyway, you like to give kids choices too, to wrap up this topic. You like to give them a lot of choices.
A lot of choices. And we're going to buck the system a little bit because we're so used to norms that we let that stop our children from being creative. But let them choose. Anytime they can make a choice that's obviously in their age and ability, let them choose. I think of our daughter right now, she's 8, and she loves to choose the socks she wears, and she doesn't like them to match. And to be honest, at first, it was very hard for me. I thought, if you take your shoes off and someone sees they're not matching, they're going to think your mom doesn't do laundry.
That comes back on you.
Right? And I had to take a step back and realize this is how she loves to express herself. She loves the purple with the neon green. It's like her favorite combination. It doesn't hurt anyone, so let them choose wherever they can. It gives them control. Control then allows them to take a step forward and continue to try because they actually feel like they have influence over something.
I love this. Heather, thank you so much. We'll extend this topic to Facebook and invite you to weigh in. How have you encouraged creativity in your own home? You can weigh in on that conversation at our Facebook page.